David Muir, the trusted face of ABC News, has had his fair share of problems, but nothing quite like this. The shocking news has broken his fans' hearts and made his future uncertain. Stay tuned to find out the story behind the headlines and the unexpected turn in the life of one of America's most beloved journalists. There is a lot of talk that the ABC News anchor may be leaving the network soon. So, many people think that David Muir, an Emmy-winning journalist and the oldest since taking over for Diane Sawyer as host of ABC World News Tonight in 2014, Muir has been a well-known figure. He is known for his in-depth reporting and has covered major international events from war zones like Afghanistan and Ukraine to natural disasters like the Fukushima nuclear crisis. There were rumors that David Muir was leaving ABC that started with a YouTube video that speculated about M's future with the network, but the description of the video shows that at least some of its content was generated by AI, there were digital changes made to the sound and images that made the source less reliable. Fans of Muir on social media have also pointed out that he hasn't talked about leaving on Instagram or X. It's been business as usual. The rumors may have started when M wasn't on World News Tonight in early August 2024, and weekend hosts Whit Johnson and Lindsay Davis filled in. M was actually just on vacation for the summer, posting pictures of his travels on social media, including ones from his time in Italy. She missed a few shows at Fox News, and rumors spread that she might be leaving the network, but nothing ever came true. David Muir has a great reputation with ABC because of how hard he works as a journalist, but today we're going to show you some hidden parts of his life. In 1976, when nightly news shows were becoming more popular, a young Boston journalist named Barbara Walters made history by becoming the first woman to host a nightly news show at a time when the three networks were the main ones. Around the same time that other networks started hiring future broadcasting legends like Tom Brewer, Walter Cronkite, and Dan Rather, David Muir hoped to join this list when he became the new lead anchor for ABC's World News Tonight in 2014. He did not disappoint in 2020, when the show's ratings were so high that the Associated Press called him broadcast television's star of the summer. His popularity isn't just with older viewers who still watch nightly broadcasts. As the Washington Post said, the show under Muir has a lot of viewers between the ages of 25 and 54. And segments like an interview with Bill and Melinda Gates got more than 500,000 views on social media sites, including Instagram. "This is my dream job, no question," Muir told the New York Times. And that dream has come true in a big way. David M's journey to becoming a journalist began when he was 12 years old. As a boy, I remember watching TV news and hoping one day I would be lucky enough to have a job that would take me. According to the New York Times, Muir said in an interview that he watched Ron Curtis's local nightly news in Syracuse. He wrote to Curtis to ask how to get into the business of reporting news on TV, and Curtis replied, "Competition in television news is keen. There is always room for the right person. It could be you right away." Muir then went to his station WTVH and got an internship. He even did it over Christmas break, and during the summer, the staff tracked his growth in the job. Reports say that M did interviews when he was in high school while wearing braces and a New Kids on the Block haircut. Despite having a geeky voice, M commanded the screen with a mix of ridiculous professionalism and playful polish. Heather Rich Polka, one of M's lifelong friends, remembered that M always knew he was going to be in New York City and would say, "I'm going to be the next Dan Rather." Also knew one surprising fact about David Muir is very good at Spanish because he jumped at the chance to study abroad at the University of Salamanca in Spain while he was in college. As a young reporter this cultural experience helped him prepare for a future career in which he travels to find stories. He also told the organization that studying abroad was a chance to take a break from schoolwork and work out a different set of muscles by learning a language and exploring a small part of I had never thought I would temporarily call the university home. He chose it because of its unique appeal given its age and beauty. I had been studying Spanish since high school. And David Muir started as an intern at WTVVH-TV in Syracuse. He later got his first full-time reporting job there, and that's where he learned one of the best pieces of advice he's ever received. Muir told the Washington Post that a senior reporter gave him some advice when he was having trouble with a story. It seems like common sense, but Muir agreed that it was a good piece of advice to just leave the newsroom, hop in the cruiser, and go to the story. Muir won awards for Best Enterprise Reporting and Best Television Interview. He then got a job as a reporter for WCVB-TV in Boston, and again won high praise from the Associated Press. Katrina left a lasting impression on him. In an interview, he talked about seeing the poor and homeless scream for help from the safety of a rental car. "I remember wanting to slouch down in the back seat because it felt like an invasion of their suffering," he said. But as hard as it is and as deep as the suffering you're witnessing, that camera lens in the window is going to give them a voice. In 2014, David Muir got his biggest promotion ever as the lead anchor of ABC's World News Tonight. Before that, he had to fill the shoes of the legendary journalist Diane Sawyer. Starting in 2011, Muir was the weekend anchor on ABC World News with David Muir. "I often say that my job is to keep Diane's chair warm 2 days a week, and it's an honor to do that," he said in an interview during that time. During that time, ABC News president James Goldston explained why Muir eventually took Sawyer's place when Sawyer said she was ready to step down. Goldston said, "It wasn't really a decision." In an interview, the executive said that Muir, who was only 40 at the time, was ready and glided into the chair. As for why he thought Muir had so many fans, Goldston said that one example is Muir's final show, America Strong, in which he visits and sometimes revisits people who show courage or otherwise warm the heart. David Muir's journey at ABC News has been nothing short of remarkable, earning him admiration from a huge number of viewers. But no one, not even David, knew that something shocking and troubling was about to happen. Things seemed to be going well for David Muir, especially before he hosted this year's presidential debate. But soon after the event, shocking and heartbreaking news came out. His show's viewership had dropped by an unbelievable 12%. No one knew what could have caused such a big drop. It looks like David Muir's time as presidential debate moderator didn't win him any new fans. A lot of conservatives said the debate wasn't fair because co-moderator Lindsay Davis fact-checked former President Trump 5 times without ever correcting Vice President Kamala Harris. Susan B. Anthony, Pro-Life America, even called for a correction after Davis made an abortion claim during the debate that they said was 100% false. The ABC News debate may have drawn about 67 million viewers, but the network has had nothing but problems since. ABC News is in a bad spot right now because of all the negative feedback from that debate. Megyn said that fair-minded people know what they did and how biased and one-sided it was. There were also shocking accusations of journalistic misconduct from a supposed whistleblower. Viewers are voicing their anger with their remotes. 7 million viewers in the 3 days after the debate, which is about 1 million less than he had been getting before the event. The show is still the most watched evening news show on broadcast TV, but its 12% drop in viewers was bigger than the smaller drops seen by CBS Evening News and NBC Nightly News during the same time period. It's not clear if Trump supporters have stopped watching ABC's newscasts after the debate, but the former president called it unfair and told Fox News that Harris should have been fact-checked on David Muir, and I've lost a lot of respect for, should have questioned all of Trump's claims. Trump said last week that it was so unfair, he went on to say that it was one-sided. And Davis admitted in an interview after the debate that her fact-checking of Trump was affected by the disastrous CNN debate for President Biden in June. Maybe Muir knew that the backlash wouldn't go away anytime soon, so he went on another ABC show to talk about the debate. He sat down with On Live with Kellyanne Mark. Reaper and Consuelo, whom he is known to be friendly with, talked about the importance of the work he and his co-moderator Lindsay Davis did. Muir said, "I believe it was our duty to ask about the issues that Americans care about. You know, the economy. Are we better off than we were 4 years ago? Immigration. What are you going to do about the border? Why did you wait so long before you acted at the border?" These are the kinds of questions that people are thinking about. Reproductive rights. Does Afghanistan have any responsibility for a peaceful border? These are all really important issues of our time. And Muir said that any criticism was pointless. He also said that the noise you hear after the fact about who won the debate and whether the moderators won or lost was just noise. He added that the most important thing to remember is that you all have power. A reporter found Muir's serious tone and message funny because he was just playing things straight down the middle. She joked, "Let me tell you what, that was clean up in aisle 7 because his ratings are down 12% since the debate, and ABC News can see he is in a free fall." Rubin, host of the Rubin Report, said the interview did nothing but expose Muir and the network. It's a great example of how they can hide lies. He said, "We all know what we saw at the debate, and we know he is responsible for all that." And they put him on an ABC morning show, which I'm pretty sure is under the entertainment section. He spreads lies by stirring up division. These responses and comments were very upsetting for someone like David Muir, who is responsible and sensitive and finds it hard to even report tragic news. For example, David Muir was almost crying as he reported on the horrific school shooting in Texas. ABC News was one of the first news outlets to report on the event, and David Muir reported on it. The news clip was shared on Good Morning America's Instagram account, and viewers left a lot of heartbreaking comments. Another breaking news story about another school, another town, and more victims who did nothing to make this happen, and nothing is being done to change it, one person wrote. Another person said, "This is so heartbreaking." A third person asked, "When will it stop, those poor parents?" In that tragic event, an 18-year-old opened fire at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, where kids ages 7 to 10 were learning. The teen suspect had a handgun and an AR-15. Investigators say he killed himself with a semi-automatic rifle and high-capacity magazines. Many famous people spoke out against the senseless crime after the event. Another touching example of David M's caring personality was how his fans rallied around him when he took on a difficult assignment away from the ABC studios. In 2023, the reporter went to Turkey and Syria to cover the devastating aftermath of the earthquake, showing how dedicated and sensitive he was to global tragedies. On February 6, 2023, a magnitude 7.8 earthquake hit Turkey and Syria, destroying hundreds of buildings and killing thousands. David posted on Instagram over the weekend that he had gone to one of the many areas in the region that had been destroyed by the earthquake. He included a photo of himself with a sad face surrounded by piles of rubble and debris, and a lot of rescue workers working in the area. Few words can truly describe the scale of the damage. This is what he wrote in the caption, asking his fans and followers to help the earthquake victims. David was praised right away by both his fans and his co-workers for keeping them up to date on the terrible situation. Deborah Roberts, another ABC anchor, said, "Thanks for shining a compassionate and informative light on this tragedy." One fan wrote, "David, your reporting is always impeccable, factual, and compassionate. Your coverage of this humanitarian crisis reflects the unimaginable and heartbreaking." David Muir's amazing career has shown an amazing ability to bounce back from setbacks, which continues to inspire millions of people around the world. His rise from being a small-town news reporter to becoming one of America's most trusted journalists is not only a testament to his talent, but also to his unwavering determination in the face of adversity. M's story is a powerful reminder that resilience isn't just about bouncing back, but also about forging ahead. Growing up in Syracuse, New York, MU faced early problems that helped shape his strong personality. From a young age, he dealt with self-doubt and uncertainty, which many people feel, but few are able to overcome. Instead of giving up, he was able to turn these problems into meaningful steps toward success. His childhood dream of becoming a news anchor often seemed far away and almost impossible to reach. Even though it seemed impossible at times, his determination never wavered. He held on tight to that vision and worked hard to achieve it, using every setback as a lesson that made him more determined. In the early stages of his career, Muir faced many setbacks that tested his resilience and determination. He worked long, hard overnight shifts, often skipping sleep and personal time to meet the demands of his job. But he stayed dedicated to his craft, believing that every moment spent honing it would make it better. He wrote difficult stories in dangerous places, taking risks that would have scared off many would-be reporters. Each experience in ENT not only fueled his love of writing, but also showed him how important honesty and bravery are in the field. He also had to deal with fierce competition in the broadcasting industry, where many experienced reporters were vying for the same prestigious assignments. The pressure to stand out was huge, but Muir refused to give up. Instead, he saw each challenge as a chance to learn and grow. And he embraced the hard lessons that came his way. Each setback only made him more determined to succeed, and it reinforced his belief that persistence, dedication, and an unwavering spirit were the keys to overcoming adversity in the pursuit of excellence. The veteran anchor's resilience goes beyond his professional life. Despite his busy schedule, he's known for keeping strong family and friendships. As a steady presence, always making time for them, whether it was through simple phone calls, family gatherings, or special occasions, showing that he values his work just as much as he values his loved ones. His ability to balance these aspects of his life well is an inspiring example of how we can achieve harmony between our personal and professional lives, which is not only possible but also necessary for our health and happiness. Looking ahead, David Muir's journey is a powerful reminder that weakness and strength often go hand in hand. He hasn't changed his mind about telling the news with kindness and clarity. The ABC network stands behind its lead anchor, protecting his privacy while upholding the high standards of journalism he helped set.